You went no contact, you pulled away, you thought if you gave them space, they'd feel your absence, maybe even realize what they lost, maybe they'd finally see your worth, but days turned into weeks and nothing, no message, no call, not even a hint of regret, and now you're here, wondering if you made a mistake, wondering if you should have said something, done something, waited a little longer. But let me ask you something. Was the point of no contact to get them back? Or was it to get you back because if you're feeling defeated right now, it's not because no contact failed. It's because you misunderstood what success really looks like. Success isn't them returning. Success is you no longer needing them to. You thought silence would be a strategy, a way to spark urgency, a way to make them miss you, but no contact isn't a game, it's a mirror. It reflects back everything you were afraid to see when you were too focused on them. The truth is, if someone didn't care when you were giving your all, your silence won't suddenly make them capable of caring now, and that's not your failure, that's clarity. The outcome of no contact isn't measured by their reaction. It's measured by your transformation. Every day you didn't reach out, you proved you could live without someone who made you feel like you weren't enough. That's power, that's growth. And that's something no text message could ever give you. You wanted to show them what life without you felt like, but what if the point was to show yourself what life could feel like when you stop waiting for someone else to complete it, when you stop giving energy to people who never saw the value in what you gave so freely? If they didn't reach out, that doesn't mean they're over you. It might mean they never knew how to show up for you in the first place, and maybe, just maybe, that's not something silence can teach them. It's something life has too, so no, you didn't make a mistake. You made a decision to protect your peace, to choose your dignity, to say, I deserve better than breadcrumbs, and now it's time to live that truth. Here's what no one tells you. Silence can be loud, especially when you're waiting for someone to break it. Every hour that goes by without a message feels like rejection, but let's separate truth from emotion. The silence you're experiencing is not a statement of your worth, it's a reflection of their capacity. We often confuse silence with disinterest, but in reality, some people are just emotionally unequipped to take responsibility. No contact exposes that. It reveals whether they were connected to you, or just comfortable with you. It hurts, I know. You wanted them to miss you, to realize, to grow. But growth doesn't happen on someone else's timeline. It happens on yours, and right now that silence is giving you space to feel, to reflect, to confront the need you had for their approval. Because if someone can disappear from your life so easily, the relationship wasn't built on deep foundations, it was built on convenience. And convenience is not love, it's just proximity. Real love doesn't vanish when you're no longer available. Don't use their silence to beat yourself up. Use it to build yourself back up. Every moment they don't text is an opportunity for you to get clearer on what you actually deserve. You're not being punished, you're being refined. Let's talk about the part that keeps you stuck. The hope, the little voice that says, what if they're thinking about me? What if they're just waiting for the right moment? That's the voice that keeps you attached, even when the facts are screaming something else. It's not that you can't let go, it's that you don't want to let go of the possibility. But hope without reality is like walking with your eyes closed. You'll keep bumping into walls and wondering why you're hurt. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is admit, I don't know if they'll come back, but I know I can't wait anymore. Because waiting for someone who isn't waiting for you is emotional self-abandonment. It's placing your healing in someone else's hands, and that's too precious to outsource. You don't need them to choose you for you to finally choose yourself. You've already done the brave thing. You created distance. Now do the hardest thing. Stay there, not as punishment to them, but as a promise to you. A promise that your value isn't defined by someone else's silence. You wanted a response, but maybe this time, the response you need is your own. A decision that says, this ends here. I'm not chasing someone who's running in the opposite direction. That's strength. That's closure. What do you do when no contact doesn't give you the outcome you wanted? You shift the outcome. You stop asking, why didn't they reach out? And start asking, what did this teach me about myself? Because sometimes we use no contact to provoke, not to protect. And when it doesn't provoke anything, we feel like we failed. You didn't. You just misunderstood what this moment was about. This wasn't about them realizing. It was about you realizing how much of your identity was wrapped in someone else's presence. Realizing how often you traded your peace for their attention. Realizing that love should never make you feel like you have to disappear to be seen. No contact only works when it's rooted in healing, not manipulation. When you're not secretly hoping they'll notice, but intentionally deciding to notice yourself, that's where the shift happens. That's where the growth begins. You're not crazy for wanting them to reach out. You're human, but being human doesn't mean you have to accept crumbs just because you're starving. It means learning how to feed your own soul, so you never need to beg again. You didn't get the text. But you got something far more important, the chance to walk away with your head held high. And if that's not power, I don't know what is. Let's be real. Sometimes silence is the closure. Sometimes the thing you were afraid to admit is exactly what you needed to accept. They're not coming back, and not because you're unlovable, but because they were never capable of the kind of love you need. That's a hard truth, but it's a freeing one. You don't have to keep checking your phone. You don't have to keep rehearsing the past. What happened, happened. What's next is up to you, and what's next should never be a return to what almost destroyed you. You're not meant to chase people who walk away when you need them most. You're meant to choose people who stay, and until you find that person, choose yourself. Again and again, even when it's lonely, especially when it's lonely, because the day you stop hoping for someone else's effort is the day you start honoring your own. You've already survived the silence, now start thriving in it. Let the quiet be your sanctuary, not your prison, and remember, sometimes you don't need to hear from them, you need to hear from you. That inner voice that says, I'm worth more than silence, I'm done settling, I'm done waiting, I'm ready. So no contact didn't work, at least not in the way you expected, but maybe that was the point. Maybe it wasn't about getting them back. Maybe it was about getting you back, not the version of you that doubted, begged, or settled, but the version that finally understands. I don't need someone else to choose me to feel chosen. I can choose myself today, right now. If this resonated with you, share it. Someone else needs this reminder too. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more truths like this. Remember, your silence didn't fail, it freed you. Now go live like it.